Commanders passing offense versus the Packers passing defense. Obviously, you got to factor Micah Parsons into that.
Oh, yeah.
Pass defense, a lot gets driven by the pass rush. I like Washington's receivers in this game. Xavier McKinney's a really good player. I think that's a pretty good, fair matchup. They've got a good pass rush, but Washington has a fellow by the name of Jayden Daniels. I like the Commanders' receivers. But Green Bay's got a good defense.
Yeah.
I like the Commanders' offense going into this thing.
I do too.
Not every,
Don't hurt yourself. Don't shoot yourselves in the foot.
Not everybody does, though, B. Washington was able to run the football really well last week.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the numbers, they averaged 7 yards a carry. Obviously, Jayden's rushing ability is a huge part of that. Through the air, it was a little bit more limited, but I think they missed some big plays by, feet, not yards. But Peter Schrager's a guy I think we both like, both respect.
Mm-hmm.
He was on, I think it was Stephen A. on First Take. And
you didn't know yelling A.
Peter Schrager's comments about what he expects this Packers defense to do, I found pretty interesting.
Are you higher now on the Packers or more down on the Lions after what you saw this week?
I'm certainly down on the Lions. And I do think there's great reason for concern with the way that offense looked without Ben Johnson. But I want to give it a week before we just say that they're awful because of how good the Packers defense was. Now, we have seen the 2000 Ravens and we've seen the 76 Steelers. I'm not putting them in that conversation. But what they did to the Lions on Sunday was maybe the greatest performance by any one unit all last week. And that includes the Bills' offense. 9 tackles for a loss, 4 sacks. And, of course, Micah Parsons gets the headlines, 29 snaps. I look at guys who have been considered busts the last few years in the draft. Quay Walker, unblockable. Rashawn Gary, unblockable. Lucas Van Ness, unblockable. They play Washington tomorrow night, Molly, and I know we're looking at this as like this battle of the Titans. Like, don't be shocked if they come out there and they shut down Jayden Daniels. That is how good this Packers defense is. And I believe Jeff Hafley is operating at such a level right now that this might be the story of the NFC. I don't think it's overreacting. I don't think it's hyperbole. I think that this defense is so good and so loaded at every single position with all this collection of first-round talent that we could be looking at a lot of teams saying, what's wrong with the offense? No. Packers defense is that good.
B?
I like Schrager. But after that one game, he's already made them a notch below the Raiders and the Steelers, in a sense. That's overreacting at its best. That's the 1 week of seeing something at its best. Come on, dog. You have 2 guards, a center and a guard that weren't there last year, and they're trying to figure out this offensive line. They played great.
New coordinator.
They lost their best run stopper, and now you're trying to tell me that they let him go to get Michael Parsons there, and they're way better now than they were before. If you look at overreacting in a book, in a dictionary, you got Peter Schrager and that comment right there.
Peter is not a hyperbole guy. He is not like a hot take guy. And
on that one, he was.
I got to say, I was borderline shocked for him to inject the 2000 Ravens and whatever the 78 Steelers, whatever Iron Curtain team Steel Curtain team he brought up. And he did make the point, like, I'm not saying this is that, but by bringing that into the conversation, you're kind of implying it. Green Bay was really good last week. But to me, when you talk about these guys that have been considered, bust might be too strong, but Van Ness, Rashad Gary's been really good for them. I'm not including Gary, but like Quay Walker, these other guys. Mm-hmm. It was one really good game.
You said unblockable. No, dog. I'm not going that far yet.
It is interesting, and you brought this up earlier in the week, that Washington's defensive performance is kind of getting thrown out, the baby with the bathwater, because nobody has high expectations of the Giants, right?
Uh-huh.
And the Packers' defensive performance, which was really good, is being celebrated because it was the Lions, who were so good last year.
Yeah.
If it was week 10 and the Lions were 7-2 coming into that game and moving the ball like they have the last couple of years, and then you see that performance, I can get down with some of that. I can, like, if Detroit has shown they're still Detroit and they're running the ball like crazy and they're one of the toughest teams in the league, and then you shut them down, I'm with that.
Totally.
But I'm kind of surprised to hear that coming off of week one where the league is just so weird. You know what I mean?
But see, that's the thing about it. He basically just stated Ben Johnson is no longer there. Ben Johnson was there how many years and they got something going. So in other words, he's saying there's a new coordinator trying to establish something and it didn't work well. But then you go into making it like that Green Bay did everything. That one there, nah, dog. That's like what I saw them doing this morning. They were saying, give me like this outlandish, basically like statement or whatever. That was one of those things to me.
I'll ask the boys in the aquarium, do you think the Packers defense will shut down the Commanders offense tonight? Jeffrey?
You want a short answer?
Sure.
No.
Give me the longer one.
Nobody can shut down Jayden Daniels. That is just my belief. If you try to stop him running, he's going to eat you up from the pocket. If you try to stop him from passing, he's going to run on you. He make the smart plays. So no, I do not think they are going to shut down the Commanders offense.
Yeah, it is really interesting because you can't – Jared Goff's a great player, man. I'm not trying to knock Goff. But Jayden is just such a different type of quarterback because if they're that good on the run and then they're able to play man on the outside, they don't have to worry about Goff. Mm-hmm. If they're going to shut down the run, I'm guessing from Green Bay tonight we see a lot of zone. Well, because they don't want Jayden to beat him with their legs.
Don't do man-to-man because you're going to get in trouble. But what I see.
But if they sit down in zones, you know who's really good at finding the soft spots? Eckler, Ertz, Debo.
But see, the thing about it is there are so many guys on this team right now that has beliefs in themselves. And I really believe that comment is more about them just getting Micah. And people are starting to hype them up even more now because, you know, they want to be ahead of things instead of behind it. There's a lot on this squad, too, now that has a lot of belief. Last week, everyone said we couldn't do nothing with the Giants' defense. And they rolled in here, and they could not stop the run, and they didn't stop the pass either.
They did get some pressure on Jayden.
They got some pressure. That's cool. But what I'm saying is you bring in a pass rusher, and you just think that all of a sudden made them become run stoppers. I don't buy that. And I know how the way that you affect pass rushers, you make them uncomfortable. You don't let them do what they like to do. So you put me out there and I got a big dude. All I know I got to do is run some speed on him and I'm going to beat him. All of a sudden when that big dude is firing out on me, and now I got to take him on physically and dismiss him and try to make a tackle, and then somebody else hit me. It make me uncomfortable. I won't be able to handle it the same way. So I believe Washington has what it takes to kind of put them on the defense.
Tom is in Annapolis. Tom, do you think the Packers defense will shut down the Commanders tonight like they did last week against the Lions?
Not completely. But what I want to know is the Commanders have a hidden secret weapon on offense that they're not using at all. I'm talking about Ben Sinnott, second-round pick 2 years ago in the new regime's first NFL draft. If you get him the ball, he will rumble. You look at his highlights from Kansas State, and his calling card is yards after catch. These DBs just bounce off him. He takes short passes over the middle and turn them into short, 10, 15-yard gains.
I hear you saying that.
Rumble, young
and
man,
I like
rumble.
Ben. I like Ben. I sat with his mom and his dad and talked to him. You think if Ben had been doing all that and was that good, those coaches wouldn't play him?
I also think it's important. Zach Ertz is really good, and John Bates doesn't come off the field because he's one of the most physical tight ends in the NFL. So I like Sinnott, and I hope he starts to show more and is more productive offensively this season. But it's at whose behest? Like, who who do you want to see Senate getting looks instead of?
No. Let's just take it straight to the head. People keep calling and saying stuff like that. And my question would be, if he was playing that well, you think this coaching staff wouldn't have him on the field? Because when I think back to the preseason, the guy who I saw rumbling and stumbling and bouncing off people was Yankoff. Okay? And this is not a knock. Sometimes it takes people just a little longer to start to hit their stride. And this could be what it is with Ben. But people have been calling us, telling us, why isn't they going to Ben? Why they not going to McCaffrey? Because they got guys in front of them right now that's better than them. And then when they get to their point, I guarantee you this coaching staff will put them on the field.
You and I, all the hype surrounding Arch Manning as college football was getting ready, you and I both said repeatedly, my only question with Arch is if he was the dude, he would have been on the field last year. Ewers wasn't playing that well. He was injured at times, and all the college football experts would be like, "Oh no, that's not the case. That's just not how Sarkisian rolls." You know how football coaches roll? Put the best players out there that will give me the chance to win.
Mm-hmm. Right now, man seems to have a hurt shoulder, and Sarkisian's putting him out there again.
So I just think with Senate, you got to recognize they like what they're getting from the other players.
Yeah.
Drew is in D.C. Drew, do you think the Packers can shut down Washington's offense tonight like they did against the Lions last week?
Hey, what's going on, fellas, man? Keep up the great work. There's no way, man. There's no way. And one thing I would like to say, Jayden done already played against premier defense. And what I go back to from the first time when they played Tampa Bay last year, and you look how he did his homework and how he handled that blitz in the playoffs. So far as with the Michael Parsons, the Green Bay defense, we already played good defenses before, man. And like I said, they've been in that system for a while. We in our second year with this system. And look, and I want everybody to understand, we the only team last year that averaged 30 points against Philly. And you look back at that championship game, even though we lost 50 to 20-something, we had 5 turnovers, and 4 of them was on their side of the field. So, Commanders, I'm not scared of them. They need to be scared of this offense, man. Y'all keep up the great work.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate the call, man.
Mm-hmm.
Phone lines are open, 800-636-1067, 800-636-1067. Packers had a great defensive performance last week. Do you think they can do the same thing tonight against Washington? Mark is in Charlotte Hall. What's up, Mark?
What up, Mark?
What's going on, boys?
What's happening?
First, let me say I'm pumped for the night.
Should be.
Excited. I love what y'all are saying right now. And look, on the last point that BMitch just made, how Ertz is in front and Bates behind center. Listen, that's a great thing to be talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
You got these vets talking to these young guys, Bobby Wagner, Von Miller, talking to these young guys. It showed last week. We showed nothing on offense to the Green Bay Packers. We could have beat the Giants by 30. What's the difference if we beat them by 30 or 15?
Mm-hmm.
They came out healthy, rested, it almost looked like, to me, in my perspective, it's my opinion. We came out healthy. Our defense was amazing in that game. And everybody's going to be ready to go on a short week. Green Bay played Detroit, which is a great team. They exhausted many weapons. We didn't. It almost looked like a practice to me. This is my opinion, my perspective. In Senate, whatever, hey, I'm looking for a win. Now, I'm not saying blowout, but I'm looking for a comfortable win like last week. And if we're complaining about a 15-point win, boys, we're in good shape.
100%, bro.
Yo,
100%.
If it's a double-digit win tonight, I dare somebody to call in complaining about it. You get first call of the day tomorrow if somebody's calling in complaining about a double-digit win tonight. I don't know that it's going to be a double-digit win. I do know this. If it's tight late in this contest, I know that I like JD5 with the ball in his hands.
Totally.
Jordan Love is a very good player, but as our friend Derek pointed out, Jordan Love turns it over. If you look back at his career numbers.
Talking about bald head Derek?
Bald head Derek, yeah. I put him on the stream for a minute. If everybody's on this, Derek, let everybody see your head. You just keep catching shrapnel.
No, it's just he's starting to lose it up front, up top. Yeah, it's starting to go.
Jordan Love in his career has thrown, in the last 2 seasons, thrown 11 picks since he's been the starter. JD5 had less than that last year. I won't be shocked if Washington's able to generate a turnover tonight. And I trust JD5 late in this game with the ball, man. Let's go to Commander Tequila. Commandante, do you think the Packers can I'm good, buddy.
No,
you think the all right, fire away.
I got +5. I don't see over 10. That's crazy to bet like that. I'm looking if I could bet. I got 5 on it all day with anybody with the Commanders because I see 24 to 29. I don't see a 30s in it. I see a real close game, and we'd be winning by 5. That's how I see it.
All right, bro.
All right, thanks, Commander. Enjoy yourself tonight. I got a feeling you will.
Enjoy yourself tonight. He already doing that.